online parenting control guidance, we will try to focus on the technologies more than the need of this topic. So I will try not to bore you guys and get into it and deep dive, take a deep dive in the technologies itself. If something is overwhelming, since we'll be discussing different technologies, do ask questions because the same topic might not come back. And if you can keep a log with you and you can just ask the questions at the end, like Brother Sajjad has mentioned. So let's get to it. I hope everybody has something in front of them to chew on. Some popcorns, some biscuits, something, anything will do. For Brother Atif, I know you got a couple of teacups in front of you. So let's not get them wasted. So here we go. So we've got 5 steps that we need to know that will allow us to understand how to do proper parenting and what kind of mind we should have in order to give the technologies to our kids. So those 5 steps are to understand what is the risk involved and what are the challenges we have. Second is to learn what our kids do on those devices if we hand them iPhones, Androids and all. Third is we need to explore what they do as well with those devices. And the fourth is to let them know that what is expected of them when they're visiting certain sites. And the last one is to teach them how to protect themselves, so that like we teach them everything else, how to cross roads, how to talk to people. So we need to teach them as well. So we have fundamental 5 steps. I'll just go into each one of them in detail. We need to understand that what is affecting our kids. So the challenges are that we can understand when they talk to people online, they can be bullied. They can be getting in touch with people who they're not supposed to. When they're exposed to social media, sexting from people, when kids are at teenage age, and inappropriate content. So we need to know what we are fighting against. If we don't know our enemies, we don't have any plan to fight against. We need to know also in the second step, we need to learn what the kids do, what kind of things they like, what is the network, what information they give out to people, what they enjoy, and so that we can make a plan. The purpose is, if we know what they enjoy, we can put that kind of content towards them. If we are successful in giving them the kind of content they need, they want, they like, then they will not go to content which is harmful for them. So they wouldn't even have time to go towards those things. So keep them occupied. So that's another strategy that we'll be seeing. We need to understand that what kind of technologies can improve their knowledge. One of the things that I feel is, once your kids have gone through their session online, just talk to them, then say, hey, what did you learn today? Was there something interesting? Can you let me know? And if they come up with something interesting, then you know that they are spending time learning. And if they don't have anything to say, that means they've just wasted time watching 1,500 videos and it doesn't make any sense. So you can discourage them, say, oh, hey, listen, you didn't learn anything from this session, so might as well try something else tomorrow. So when you take feedback after their understanding, after their sessions, so they will also know that that is being required. So in the fourth one, we have agree and set expectations. We need to agree with a certain codes. We need to talk to them how they behave after they have done with their session. If they were watching TV for half an hour or 1 hour, and if they're fighting with their siblings, or if their mood is different, we know that something is not right. So we need to keep an eye, and we need to let them know about the time they spend on how much time they can spend on each device, what kind of sites and apps are good for them. Like I said, how their behavior impacts others. If they are needy, if they are behaving like a stubborn child, we know that the content they're watching is not good. such as Doraemon, no more Doraemon because he always fights with his mother. So, and we need to let them know what kind of information they can share online, so nobody can misuse that information. So we'll come to that in some time. And if they understand that they, as parents, we are the right place to seek information, they will always trust us and they will come back to us. So we need to create that space also, so that they are comfortable sharing their information with us. So we need to be very vigilant. Okay. So we will be coming to some more parts, which is we need to teach them how to keep their devices locked, protected, so nobody else can misuse them. We need to let them know not only the devices should be locked, but also their passwords should not be shared to anybody, their addresses, their crucial information such as date of birth, school details, year, room, and that they don't share that information online. This doesn't happen to smaller kids, but this is very crucial for teenagers so that their information is not misused. So if we follow these 5 tips, I'll go back to them again on the first slide. Understand, learn, explore, agree, and teach, so that we have established a very good code at home, which will allow us to talk to them properly. Okay, let me just go a bit fast from here. Let's see what can we do as parents. What kind of controls do we have? We know that we have spoken to our kids now. We know what kind of things they like, how much time they should spend, but how do we enforce it? The enforcement is one of the biggest things that always causes issues. Uh, so let's enforce something. How do we enforce? We have 3 kinds of mechanisms at our hands, 3 kinds of layers we have to tackle that issue. One is network level control. We all have networks at our home. We use connected devices with cables. We have wireless, and anything which connects us is called a network. And then second thing is we have a device. Any device they're using, they are using Windows devices, Chrome OS, Chromebooks, tablets, PlayStation. They've got other devices, so we need to control them. So third is platform and application control. So what happens is we have these 3 levels. Now we need to know that how to control each one of them. No single technique, I repeat, no single technique is good enough. When you have something very important at your home, you put them under multiple lockers. You just don't put one lock at outside your gate and then you go away. You have internal safe, and then you have your room key, and then you have external gate. So you have multiple locks so that if somebody tries to get in, they have a hard time getting in. Similar thing happens when we're doing parental control for our kids. We want to make sure every layer is protected, right? So when we will be seeing the technologies now, we will have to use mix of them. Some are like each other, some are like different. So let's dig into it. First thing first, all kids have Chromebooks. School wants to give them a Chromebook. They are essential tool to learning, but do we control that? So let's see if we can control that. At some slides, I have put some links. You can access the links. And in some places, I was able to put QR codes. So I'll just try to put them back. So Chromebooks can be protected in this way that we can click on the settings here. And once you click the settings, we can go to parental controls. We can click setup. And once we click setup, we get to this screen, which is how to set up parental controls. And then we can type the email address of our parent so that the parent can supervise the kids on their Chromebook. And then once on the Chromebook, you are able to connect your own account, you become a linked account. That allows you to access or control the emails that you want. So if you see on the other screen, it says review Marissa's app. So you can enable or disable any of the apps for your kids. And how do we handle that? Google allows you to go to a website called families.google.com. And if you go to that account, then you can see your members there. And from those members, you can access and supervise those accounts. So once you have set that on the device is set. Now you don't need to access the device anymore. Kids can use it. For parents, they will just go to families.google.com, and there they will be able to log in, and then they can see their kids. You can have multiple kids, no charges, no subscription fees here, and you can just start. You can say, hey, I want to block certain sites and I want to allow some sites. So from here, you can block sites or unblock sites. So this is one thing. And then you can also, from the same place, you can see you can give permissions to site and applications. So you can click on this link, and then you will be able to control those applications. So this is the second step where you can block the site. You can just put the site address, such as free lotto, if kids are going to gambling sites, which they don't actually. So any site you like, you can block from here. Now, similar thing, once you have put your kids' devices on a protected parental system, you can also turn off guest browsing. So if the school is the owner, only they can toggle that switching. Some of the schools, they control Chromebooks. They have access to Google accounts, and they can take care of the accounts. But some schools don't. So this is where you can enable and disable certain features, which is you need to sign in as the owner. You see on the right corners that you have gear. In the gray, you say people, and you manage people, and then from there you enable guest browsing. So no other people can use your kids' devices, and then they can't get the information out. So this is one more additional feature which allows you to your data on your kids' Chromebooks to be protected by unauthorized physical access. So if your kids' devices are lost, so no guest account can log in and have data taken out. Okay, so next. Now this was just one thing I started from, that was just Chromebook, because almost everybody has it. Now Ministry of Education in New Zealand has been very vigilant when it comes to net safety and kids protection. So they have a technology called Switch on Safety. Switch on Safety is a dedicated network as a DNS server which filters the unwanted material out. And this is only available for New Zealand kids based on New Zealand's requirement. Though there are many different servers, these two servers are strictly designed for New Zealand people. N4L is a company which provides government the softwares for schooling. netsafe.org.nz is another company which makes sure that the net remains safe for the kids. So they have come up, all three of them have come up with this technology Switch on Safety. I will just show you now how to use it on your machine. Now this is something I think everybody should have it. Like I said, no one technology is usable. You need to do different things. So we just saw now how to control Chromebooks on the device level. Now we will see on the network level how to protect our kids. So here we go. If anybody wants to have any information about this technology, they can just scan the QR code and they will be able to go back to Switch on Safety's website and get this information. There are two primary domain DNS servers. The IPs are 23.216.52.39. Usually we use IP4, IP6 is difficult to handle. Not many people are using it. So the second is 23.216.53.39. This in mind, just write it somewhere, and once we will see the screens. What I've tried to do is I've tried to take the screens so that you guys can relate to it once you start using it. Any steps that you see, and you will be able to do it yourself. not just theory, it's just more screens. So this is the website which allows you to see everything there. Now, one more thing is this network level protection for your kids works on Windows 10, MacBooks, iPads, Windows 7, Windows 8. But this level of security does not work on Android devices so far. It's very difficult to manage DNSs on Android devices, and they don't recommend that. They don't even suggest that we can protect you with Android devices. But anyways, let's we have like 80 50 80 70% of 70 80% of protection on the network. Again, another QR code which will take you to that safety on switch on safety page. So there are three things to do when we need to configure switch on safety. One is we need to find the settings of these DNS settings. DNS servers are the servers which we approach first when we go to the internet. Just for the people who are not aware of DNS servers, it's like a directory server. It's like a directory. If you need to go to CNN.com or any news site, the minute you type the name of that site, it needs to translate itself to IP. It tries to go and find a server on the internet. Before it does that, this server says, hey, I know where that is. I can guide you to it. So what we do is we remove and we go to a directory which says, oh, hey, let's not give them that page. So this is what is happening here. So this server, these servers that earlier, they will block that. So we find them, we switch to them, and then we test it. So here we go. So first on Chromebook, you can go to settings on the bottom right. Once you see a setting, you click setting gear, then you click on Wi-Fi option. If you're connected with Wi-Fi, if you're connected with a network card, you connect the network card. Most of the people are connected to wireless. Then you select the wireless you have at your home. Click on it. On the fourth step, you go to the network settings and you click advanced. Once you click advanced, it will show you custom DNS servers, custom name servers. You click on the custom name servers, and what you do, you will put these two server names, which are free. Some of the DNS servers are paid for, but New Zealand government is giving those servers for free, which is very nice. I've been using them for some time. And what they do is we'll come to know now. So you enter those two different IPs. And remember, in Chromebooks, there is no save button. So the minute you put the information, that's good enough. Then you press the close screen on the top right, and you come out of it. Now comes the third part, which is the test part. Test the device, make sure it's working. Just go to google.com, see if the site's working, means that you are able to reach the internet and your DNS servers are properly configured. Once you do that, a page should load up. In this case, we can see that page is coming up. But now we need to test if we are actually able to block things up. So try accessing any gambling sites such as freelotto.com. The minute you will do that, you will find a screen which is displayed here, web access prohibited. So in essence, as a parent, I don't have to understand 15 million sites which are bad for my kids. And I don't have to go and block them one by one, which I can. In the previous step, we saw that how to do it in Chrome with a parental account. But this service allows us to categorize those bad sites and put them and block them. So here we get a message says, hey, website access prohibited, acceptable policy is, user policy is not good, and the category is gambling and subcategory. So they have multiple categories, category within categories, subcategories, and they give us a reason why it's blocked. I'm not supposed to be here. But remember one thing, this thing is based on your network. If I have configured this at my home network for my kids, the minute my kids go to my brother-in-law's home and they try to connect it there and try to access those websites, it will not work. So this kind of technology is only dependent upon network to network. That's why it's called network-based protection. So in those places, you will have to come up with another strategy, usually which is like 5-10% of the time that they will be going and connecting to other networks, right? So this was one good thing which New Zealand government has given us. So let's move and see how we can do the same thing on Windows 10. Some of us are good fans of Windows 10 for obvious reasons. They're the dinosaurs in the industry. They've been sitting there for ages. They're not going anywhere soon. So switch on safety also is possible to do on them. We'll just touch on these two things. Quickly, I'll just show you the screens, how you can change it. So if you want to access the settings, you press Windows key and X key on your Windows 10. And then you press W, network connections. Then you will be able to come to this screen. In this screen, these are the shortcuts. You can just try it out on your screens now or later if you want. You just need to come to control panel and network set connections in short, or the shortcuts are here. Then you change your router settings, and in number 1 point, in number 2 point, we need to go to network internet settings. Is the same thing. Either you go with the shortcuts or come to control panel and try it from here. Then you go to change adapter settings, and once you go to adapter settings, it will show all your adapters. Either they are wired with a network connection or with a wireless. 80% people might have a wireless connection, so they will just select your own appropriate adapter which you're using and right click on it. If you right click on it, then you can see properties, and you need to right click and then click properties. And once you click properties, a window will open up, which is a Wi-Fi properties. Here you can click on Internet Protocol 4, then click properties, step number 4. And then you can put those two servers here, 23.216.52.39, and the other one is 25.216 or 53.39. And you just have to press OK and then press close. If you have done that, what will happen is, if I again go and try to access that gambling website such as freelotto.com, is a good test to see if that site is working. Either you will get the left screen, acceptable users policy violation, or you will get the right screen, which will say, hey, DNS probe finished. I cannot find that site. So it will say, hey, I can't reach out to that. So in both cases, you are able to deflect and redirect your kids to protection. Once you have established that, let's see what are the other tools provided to us by other industry players. If you have got your internet connection from Spark also has a service. They call it NetShield. So it does a similar thing. It blocks harmful content on the internet, doesn't let it come to you. So, but the only thing is you need to be a Sparks subscriber. And they have two services for NetShield. One is basic and one is premium. And how to get it is that I'll show you also. So this will allow you to block harmful content such as pornography, illegal abusive content, extremist propaganda, and all. They'll do that. When you're searching Google, Bing, and YouTube videos, it will try not to bring those certain type of explicit material. You can also change settings on their platform, which will block certain content. And then also you can control time. Turn those filters on and off at certain times. When kids go to sleep, you can enable them, and then you can buy all the guns you want. Then you can also block specific websites which you don't like to see. You have control on granular level to go down deep and do it on your own. And then you can just log on the internet based on time, right? So these are a few features that Net allows you to do. Uh, how do you activate that? So if you have a Spark connection, just go to My Spark. Yeah, you can sign into Spark, myspark.co.nz. And in the product and services dropdown, you will see Net Shield. You can select basic or premium. Basic is already enabled. So, and if you want, you can just um, select the terms and conditions, and after you confirming that, you're just need to restart your router, and then the services are on. And if you want to, you need to activate. It's available by default, but it's not activated. So you need to activate it. You don't have to pay for basic services, but they are not activated, available, not activated. So once you activated them, restart your modem, and it will start working. Same thing happens. You need to do if you need to buy that service, which is like $4 or something. I'll just see in the next slide. Can't remember. So you go to MySpark again, see product and services drop-down menu, and then you accept the terms and conditions, and you upgrade to premium. Now, after you've done premium, you can start filtration. You can select filters, and you can schedule them. You can create custom schedules for your kids, and then they'll start to work. No need to restart afterwards. It's just one time you need to restart your browser modem. Now, yeah, here it is. So basic service is free. It just blocks harmful content, and it just gives you search safely option. So when you're searching on Google for illegal things, it can block certain results. Certain results won't show up, or the entire search will not come up. For the premium one, we got more features. So we get the free ones, which are in basic, block harmful content and search safely. Set content restriction is in premium. You can say, hey, I don't want to have this number of contents available, such as guns, violence, and all. As a content, they will not come. Then you can say, hey, I want these policies to be implemented from morning till evening. So that is also time of the day control. Third is you can have your own list of websites that you can put there, and then they will be blocked. And then you can just lock down the intended use altogether. It's for $5 a month. That's not a bad deal, but we have other options as well. So it's up to you which one you want to choose. Once you have seen Spark, Vodafone also has a similar feature, but it's more towards techies. Vodafone still survives on Huawei, the old kind of modems, and we can access the modem. We need to get into the modem. Usually it's on Huawei's 192.168.1.1 option. Then you log in with your username and password, which is usually printed behind the modem. Then you click on advanced. So what things we can do is we can still do website filtration, access control. We can block sites. Let's see how it works. So we can, once we log into the web management console, we can go to internet and switch on parental control. Then we can specify rules. We make a rule. In the rule, we can say, hey, I want the internet to be accessible only at these times. So we have a time allowed control in Vodafone. If you don't want to go for anything else, nothing else makes sense, we can just stick to modem based router based parental control. And then we can filter out stuff. And the second option, we can just again log into the same router, go to internet, parental control, and then start URL filtration. And then we can put the websites there. But still, this is not as good as what we saw earlier by government's own DNS servers, where they do the stuff, hard work for us. They block the sites for us. Here we have to block those contents on our own. Okay, let's see another software. So again, we are talking about, so we've been discussing about network layer, ISP-based control. Now we're coming to device level control. What software can I put on the device which will protect my kids? So one of them is Nanny. Now Nanny has been in the market for ages. Windows, I remember it's been there for Windows 98 and all, then Windows XP and also it's been there for ages. It does a pretty much the same thing. gives us parental control, internet filtration. It blocks pornography. It has screen time management. It can block apps, website blocker. It works on multiple devices. The good thing about this is it works on MacBooks. It works on Androids. It works on iOS. It works on Amazon Fire. It works on Chromebooks. It works on almost all the platforms. But there's a caveat. That is, you need to install that application on each of these devices. And it's not that expensive. I think it's like 55 bucks a year. And if you have 5 devices, it comes down to almost $10 per device, like $1 per month. It will do all the things. So what it does, if you see on the left side, just like you have a Facebook feed, which gives you what's happening around you, it has a similar kind of social feel to it. So once you log into your Net Nanny application, you can control Net Nanny. It gives you a feed, hey, who's been on Snapchat, what was blocked for. My son Adam saw this one, my daughter Eve was on this side. It gives you everything there. You can block anybody anytime. You can say, hey, no more internet for Jason, no more internet for Steve. You can block it. So if you know what they're doing, you can make amendments. You can give them time, you can add time, you can give them reward. You can say, hey, it's Sunday, let's have some more time. So you can award them. It works as it's available on Net Nanny. So that is one good software. The only downside is we need to have it installed on each of the machines. So there's some manual action that you need to do with each device. There's another software which is from Kaspersky, and this is designed for kids. It's available for your entire family for 20 bucks. It's designed to protect your kids online and beyond. It does screen time management. It see where the kids are, where the battery is getting low. If your kids have phones and they are in a school and their battery is running low, you can just call them and say, hey, just plug your phone. Your battery is getting low. By the time you reach home, you might not have any juice in your mobile. So you can do that. It blocks bad YouTube search request as well, which is something new, which was not there before. I haven't tested that, so can't comment on it. One thing is that it does not work with iOS. So that means it does not work with your iPhones. It does not work with your iPads. Maybe they will come up with those features in some time soon. So what it does, so it also has two variations with versions. One is free, the other one is premium. The one which is free will do online content filtration for you. It will do safe searching for you on the YouTube. So if they're searching illegal, harmful content, it will block itself. It will allow you to manage how much time a kid needs to spend on each application. It can also do it based on age restrictions or categories. It will allow them to manage the screen time. So you can say, hey, I want Adam to have 5 is a lot, 2 hours a day. And then once they have spent 2 hours, no matter on what, they were on Facebook for 15 minutes, they were on YouTube for 1 hour, whatever application they use, the minute their 2 hours is over, they can't use it anymore. So you can do those kind of scheduling. The premium ones can also do GPS child location, so you know where your child is. Is he already in school or is he on his way back? You can also check that. Like I said, it does the battery tracking, so we know it's doing the battery tracking as well. YouTube search history, it will send you a list of the sites, the videos that your kid has watched. So you can go back and see, hey, I know today what he has watched. So you can keep an eye. If we don't know what they're doing, we don't know how to protect them. So we need to find a way to get all the information back to us. Just like I said in my start of the session, that we need to talk to them. We need to know what they're doing, how they're enjoying, where do they spend time. First thing is we ask them. Second thing is we keep an eye on them, right? And then we also get real-time alerts. If they go to some site and it's something supposed to be bad, we get alert, so we can just intervene at the real time hey, what are you watching? So we can just do that. So this was also another thing which was device level. Now we're gonna come to application level. Now, so like I said, multiple technologies, multiple options. Messenger Kids is by Facebook. They allow a messenger for kids. And the sole purpose is to make sure that the kids are not engaging with the wrong kind of people. So if you want to keep an eye who they're calling, who they're talking. So this is, and we can, and the parents can manage the contents list and control the fun, like it says here. So we know who they're talking to. So we know they're not talking to IS, getting recruited for some reason. So we can just install it on their kids device. When it comes to Mac devices, so on the Mac level, we can also restrict how they use iTunes. If they are able to listen to certain type of iPodcast, if they should be downloading some sort of content from a store or some music or shared libraries. So we can just control it. The thing is you need to go to the menu, and then we need to go to iTunes. And in iTunes, we need to go and run it as administrator. It allows you for your password of your machine. And then you can set the ratings. So you can say, hey, I want to disable, if you see on the right, I want to disable podcast, just check. I want to disable Apple Music, check. And if you want to restrict content, you can do it based on parental guidance, PG 13, PG 7, like that. And then same thing goes with the TV ratings. So we can just use those ratings. Just mind that the ratings that they have, they are based on Western values. So even PG 13 are sometimes are not suitable for our kids. So we can control our iTunes as well for parenting. And there's some of the people, their iPhone buffs, they just are Apple buffs. Everything they have is Apple. So this one goes for them. Same thing happens from MacBook Pro to Macs to iPhones. So even on your iPhones, you can have certain applications, you can restrict certain applications. So if you turn off an application or feature, it will not delete the application, it will just not show. So if you turn them off, they will not be shown on your main screen. They're there, but they're not deleted. So we can, when you know kids are there, we can just allow those built-in apps and we can just remove them from the access. Same thing like I mentioned before, that we can go to settings and we can do the content restrictions. I think we saw that in here. So this is how we do it. This is a screenshot and this is a detail about the same. Same principle applies. We can enable and disable. One more thing on iPhone we can do is we can just limit adult websites. Most of the people, they don't know this feature is available. So I'll just go slow on this. So iOS can automatically filter websites content to limit access to adult content in Safari and apps on your devices. You can also add specific websites to an approved or blocked list. And then you can access those websites. So the settings are, you go to settings, screen time, content and privacy, and then you put your password, whatever your screen time passcode is. Then you click on restrictions. Then you tap on web content. And then you can choose unrestricted access, which is shown on the right side. And then you can say limit adult websites. And then if you see down, you have option for add website to allow. And you have sites you can add on your iPhone, which never allow. So if you think your kids are addicted to certain kind of website for gaming or something, they always try to go there. When they have your mobile, you can just put that here and then that site is blocked. No matter if they have your phone, no matter if they have your phone in their hands, they can't reach it, they can't use it. So the more we know what they do, the more we can control it. So this is one more feature which is available for a device level control. Android is huge. So what we'll do is we will just see how to do the same thing for Androids. It's a generic one. It's not based on Samsung or Huawei or any other product. It's a generic Android I just made here. It will be same across every place. So you go to settings and you add a user. The thing is, if you add users to your devices, if you hand your device to your kids, they can start to use their own account on it, so that can be managed better. So you can say, hey, system, advanced, multiple users, right? And then once you have users, you can then assign them controls. So how do we do control is, how do we restrict contents on Google Play? That's another thing. We don't want kids to download certain kind of material, certain kind of games and all, so we can just do that as well. We can go to play, go to settings. On the left, we have these waffles, those hamburgers icon, some people call it. You go to settings, and then you go to parental control. Once you're on parental control there, you need to turn on parental controls. It will ask you for a pin. You need to put your pin. Don't share your pin with your kids. Otherwise there's no point of securing anything. Then you put your pins there, and then your controls are on. If you see on the right side, once you have put your pin, those controls which are not enabled on the left are now enabled on the right. So that allows you to enable parental control. And now you can say, hey, I don't want my kids to go and download PG-18 or PG-16 content. You can just uncheck it, or you can just bring the level up. And then if you see from left picture, from allow all access, I have made it to PG-12. So only this kind of music, application and games can be downloaded. Other games will not even show and play once they will start to search for those. Okay. Okay, so sorry for that. Just had my coffee. Now Google has been dominant on Android level. You can't run any Android device without Google's account. So what they did, they created a system called Family Link, which allows you to control all the devices by Family Link. So it allows you to see what they have been doing. So once you have this application installed, not application, sorry, their accounts connected to your account, and you become a parent, and you put your kids their email addresses, and you connected their email addresses with your account, like we have seen before, we can see what is doing. We can see, hey, they have seen this application for this much time, like in this case, Toon Tastic 3D and photos for an hour. Then you can see what applications they want to download, and do we approve that? If they want to download an application, we can say yes, download on their device. Otherwise, we can deny it. And then if the teachers are recommending some applications, if their accounts are being managed by teachers at the school, we can also get recommendations from teachers. One thing to notice is, I'll come back to the screen. Google was sued in US for blocking content for kids account. So now they don't block any content. Family Link will now only allow you to see what kids are doing. It will show you application level what they can install or not, but they will not block any harmful content. My US Supreme Court had to put them under that hammer, and now they don't block any content inside the applications. So this is, but still we know what they are doing, their applications, their sites and all. Let me go back to, yeah. So it also allows us to keep an eye on their screen time, how much time they spent on. We can put bedtime here, and we can log them on certain time. So we can say, hey, it's dinner time or it's morning. So you can remotely lock their devices. So they cannot unlock when you lock them. These are some of the benefits that we can see here. It's available. It looks like this when you go to Play, Google Family Link for Parents. You need to install this on your phone, and then you can link their accounts to you. So if they have their own devices and you have parental account on them, you can just do all those features, see the activities, and let them install, uninstall any application, or just simply just log them out. This is in a nutshell showing you all the screens that you can see. You can put limits of each on each application. Like here, we can see that the Toco Hair Salon can only be played for 30 minutes. Same thing we can do for all their applications. We can assign time. We can set a daily limit for all the applications, like 3 hours here. So if you got multiple applications, they can just use it for 3 hours and not much. After that, the device becomes locked, right? And then we have schedule. So we can say our kids can use this device from bedtime is like, rather than allowing them time, we can say we block you from at night 7 till next morning 7. So if you see on the left side, we have schedules on Monday from 7 evening till 7 morning, and then we can just lock the devices on Friday 9 o'clock and unlock it on 7 o'clock. So this also gives us some level of control on the devices. We can control the screen times and device usage, but it doesn't do that harmful content management. So be aware, limit changes appear as notification on the child devices. Now, this is something important to know, that the minute you make any changes here, a pop-up will come on their screen and say, hey, your father has changed something for you. So it's not like you can just go about changing everything. They're going to come back and say, hey, why are you changing my times? Why are you not letting me play more and all? So this is not an invisible change. So they will be notified. That's also thanks to the American court system. So how does it work? So if you have blocked some application or some site on their account, like in this case, we have blocked photos.google.com. So this kind of page will appear on their device. In this specific case, it's a Chrome OS, Chromebook. And the minute my kid go to photos.google.com, it will come and say, hey, ask permission from one of the parents. So it can be, if you have multiple parent account, it will say you can ask either mom and dad. So mom and dad's account will appear here. And the minute the child will ask permission, you will get a notification say, hey, he really wants to use it. Do you want to allow it? So this is also a very good tool, system to manage the families. Second comes Sony PlayStation. You can also configure on your Play station how to manage time, how much time, how much games they can buy, how to disable video and voice chat messages. Sometimes this is a place where we don't look at. Kids get attracted to a lot of online gamers. And then if we block those voice chats and voice messages, then they can't interact. So this is something also very good. And if we block user-generated videos, then the kids can't spend watching others play for hours and hours and hours. So this also becomes easy. We can, there's a way how to do it. I'm just gonna skip it because I'm not sure how many people use PS4 or PS5. So, but this is available. Just to let you know that this feature is also available on PlayStations. You can just switch power and then go to switch user and create a new user. And then once you create users, you can say, hey, I'm the father and I'm the son or I'm the kid. So one becomes a parental account and then they can manage those settings there. So we have a video here, but let's just skip that. Now, one of the important things I want to discuss now is this Circle device. This used to be owned by Disney. This is called Disney Circle device. This is also a device which works on the network level. If you put this device on your network, it will control everything for you. I've been using this device for a long time. such a good fan, big fan. Usually when you go to ISP and you say, hey, for me, I was on 2 degrees. I said, hey, I want to be a subscriber for you. What offers you have? They said, oh, with your account, we will give you a Disney Circle free. And sometimes you can just have it for free. If you change or switch your account, you should also always do that. Keep on switching in certain years so you can get some benefits of freebies. So for me, I was able to get this device. It's very simple. Just take this device, connect it to your router. That's it. Install the application Circle on your phone. Then you will be able to do set bedtimes. You can create their profile, each of the users. Each user can have multiple device. Like you say, hey, I want Adam to have, he has 4 devices and I want him to spend only 3 hours on all 4 of them. So he cannot circumvent the system. So either he uses 2 hours on one device or 1 hour on one device. The minute his time is over, it's over. So we can create profiles, attach devices to the profile. We can create bedtimes for each one of them. Then we can say, hey, we can say time limits for each device. And then of course we can just block them for certain things. So let's see this device. What it can do is it can do set limits. So on the video, you can see that we have created profiles. We can just add names, put their pictures. So it's easy to remember. We can pause the internet. We can see where they are. So it shows you location of where they are with their phones. We can control their usage, how much time they're spending on each of the devices. So it gives us reports. We can see the history, like they went to which website, then at what time they went to which website. And then we can have bedtime selected. Say, hey, for each of these kids or each of these profile, we can have a different profile. Not every kid is same. Some are going to college, some are going to school, so they all need different times, so different profile. One side doesn't fit all. Then over the weekend or during their exams and all, we can give them rewards. Means we can say, hey, you have off time for certain more hours, you have 4 or 5 more hours today. So we can do all that. The device is not that expensive. It just comes around 69 bucks. If you, a year, by the way, it's not free. So you have a device and you have a subscription. So it works with both. And the good thing about this device, it works with almost every device you have at home. You have a smart TV. Yes, it can block content on that. It will say you have spent 2 hours already. No more TV for you. I would love to do this with my wife, but I can't. Too scared of her. So you can block TV content. You can block game systems, phones, any phones, iOS, Apple or Android, computers, tablets. So this device works with all because it works on the network layer. So this is something very nice. It can do the screen time limit, like we discussed before, histories, content filtering. There's nothing that I haven't seen it can do for protection, and it's just a marvelous device. So we can obviously, you can always investigate and see if some of the providers are giving you this for free. If so, just change to them and buy them. Otherwise, from the market, you can buy this one. A bit expensive per year. If you want lifetime, it's $299. Let's see how you can acquire this. It does the same thing like we discussed. You can pause. If at the dinner time, you can say, hey, just click one pause button and it will pause everybody's internet at home. Everybody will come to the dinner table and you can have a decent dinner. And nobody's going into their phones or see or work with them because everything is paused. Off times rewards, we discussed that before. So I'll just skip that. Now, Microsoft also has a similar feature they call Microsoft 365 Family. So most of the people who are using Windows, they can utilize that feature. If you have purchased a package of 365 Family, it works with 6 people in the home. It works with multiple devices. It gives you storage. It works with Windows, Mac, iOS, and all. It gives you other features such as Word, Excel, and all. So you can, and it gives you family safety network. So this only works when you have a Microsoft 365 Family account. Let's see, it's available on Android also. It looks like this on Play Store. It looks like this on Apple Store. and it's just $165 per year. So if you think you are big on Microsoft, you can of course buy this, not for the sake of security or protection, but also for productivity. So what it does, it will give you a chance to log into your Office 365 account or Microsoft account, and then from there you can do the same thing, and you can put PC screen times, and you can select which day, how many hours, and then after that, that account will be locked. So like Microsoft has this concept of profiles and accounts. You can create multiple profiles with your Microsoft account on your machine, and every user, like multiple users are using same machine on profile, they can use it. Otherwise, they can use multiple devices with their profiles with the same email and password. They log in with their email password, and then those accounts are connected to Microsoft Family account. And from here, the parent can control those devices. There's a QR code there. If you want to get more information on this, you can get it. The purpose is same. This allows you to make sure that all your loved ones are trackable. You can see the activities, you can block content. One more thing it does, it lets you know if your son is driving very fast on the roads. It will give you speed alerts. If the speed is 50 and he's driving 55, you will get an alert. And if he has checked his phone once or twice while he was driving, you will also get an alert that, okay, he's using his phone while he's driving. So this is one of the features that are really not available anywhere else, but this Microsoft Safety allows you to see it. So if you want to see the device limits, you can put set device limits also here. So let me just put it here and see. You can go to family.microsoft.com, and once you log in there with your account, you will see your family here, your members. Then you can individually choose screen type for each one of them, because not all the kids are same. So everybody might need a different screen time. So then you can adjust those times here. You can come down for Sunday. You can block them entirely, or you can give them certain hours, 2 hours, 30 minutes, and then you can say, hey, I want to remove it from this time, and I want to add another time. It's that simple. You can just add time screens, and you know that you have got control over there. Okay, next we have how do we protect our kids within the application. So YouTube is also giving a feature which is called YouTube Kids app. You can download it from Play Store. So rather than to control the device, we are now going to control the application itself. So we, rather than to install normal YouTube, we can install YouTube for Kids, and you can have multiple profiles for each kid. For me, I've got different kids and I've got different profiles on them. For each kid, we can set a baseline, a certain age restriction. We can also pick and choose what kind of channels they can see or collections they can see. We can assign them so that they don't go outside that boundary. We can set time limits also, block videos and more. And every time you open that, it has a funny video which comes up. So you can enjoy those videos also, and it works with your mobile phones, desktop, and works with your smart TVs. How it works is that once you install that application, you register and say, hey, I'm a parent. If you see on the top left, then you need to put your age. Once you put your age, it will open the settings. You can come down and press the settings, and the same thing happens, that once you've gone to the settings, you can just give them time and schedule. All that stuff that we discussed with all other products is a universal for everywhere. So you can set those settings here. After that, we have on the normal YouTube, we can restrict them still. You just need to log into your own account, if you see on the left, and then press on settings and say restrictive mode. It helps you to potentially remove a lot of stuff, but they also say that's not 100%, but it's better than nothing. So always keep your YouTube in restricted mode. Same thing can happen with your browser. When you log into Chrome OS for kids, or if they're using your account or using their account, you can just log into youtube.com, and then you can go to settings, and at the bottom you will see restricted mode. You can click on it. It will allow you to block those content. Now, one more thing you always should keep is when you are doing searching online, you're using Google, and we want Google to always be responsible and give us safe search. So you can go to google.com/preferences, and then you can always say save search filter. It can block inappropriate uh, sites and explicit images and all. So this is also something I think every parent should enable on their own machine and on their kids' machine. So we have covered platforms such as Facebook, YouTube, and we have covered devices with Windows. We have covered network level devices.